Strategic reserve established with US-based coins like SOL, XRP, USDC. For real, you gotta hear this. We're also going to talk XRP price because we are going to record highs with possible ETFs on the way.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
And what am I talking about with the ETFs? It's not a matter of if, but more so when. Green on the screen, you bet your butt. Are some more green than others? Well, yeah, and it has to do with this. Yeah, what's on the screen. Now, before we get into that, your comments come first, yes, because you, the viewer, matter most. That's why I do this all the time. That's why I'm taking the show on the road with me. Modern Creep starts us off and says, I don't think anyone is shocked that Gary did this. He's special for real. Gary came out swinging. His last attempt was what everyone calling everything XRP related a security. Cody Zug says, start with choo-choo bitches, beanies, and work your way up from there. I've seen everything from people talking about like train logos with XRP as the headlights, t-shirts, hats, mugs. Some have even said, hey, bro, float some AI generators. No. I don't want to use AI. You got to hire real people. Mike Haas says, Gary knows he's on the way out. Why not just chill out for the next few days instead of trying to burn it all down on his way out? This man is truly evil. Yeah, I mean, he is persistent and he is consistent. So, I mean, we at least have to thank him for that. And we also have to thank him for cheap crypto prices the last 2 years. Some people may want Gary to come back to the SEC so you could load up the bags yet again. R. Schmidt says, thank you. Dropping support on the channel. Well, thank you kindly, Deputy Doofy. Glad you're reporting for duty today, sir. What else we got? Jeremy Touche hanging out this, dropping more support on the channel. Thank you, Jeremy. He says, get your crypto off the exchanges and onto a ledger, engraved, decent, etc. Put it into a Faraday bag and keep it safe. If you don't know, you know, not your keys, not your crypto. By the way, hit that like button. I'm glad you brought that up, Jeremy, but let me ask everyone a question. Do you feel more safe now, less safe, or equally safe leaving your crypto on exchanges, knowing that we've got major overhauls coming with the SEC and CFTC? Let me know down below. I'm very curious what you think. Bitcoin sitting at, screw Bitcoin. Let's talk alts. ETH sitting at, no, screw ETH. XRP sitting at 335, SOL at 214, XLM 50.5. Ooh, that's nice deep green. H-bar making a move as well, up 17.7% last 24 hours at 36.9. Litecoin doing some moves, and so is what? Everyone, you see it down here on the screen, this little block? That's XDC, up almost 19% last 24 hours to 15.3. All right, contrast, right? I'm going to share with you something really cool. Remember, my job is to bring you the news, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. Many of you have seen this website, but if you haven't, it's pretty interesting. Anyways, it goes over all the exploits, the follies of Web3, of crypto, right? And what's really interesting about this site is they total all this stuff up in the bottom. Here's the cool thing for us. And I know you're like, but bro, this website is just ripping on crypto and all the hacks, scams, and schemes. And holy crap, bro, you just keep scrolling down and there's more and more and more and more. Yeah. Here's the thing though. They're becoming less and less and less and less. I used to be able to see stuff like this almost on the daily coming from this website. And now, look at like the total on the bottom of the screen, the 75.472 billion. It's not going up that fast either. That's right, because the hacks, scams, and schemes aren't as big as they used to be. Now, it's still a problem, don't get me wrong, but crypto is doing a good job of getting this under control. See? Bringing you the news, both sides. Trump opened to an idea of establishing a strategic reserve with US-based coins like SOL, XRP, USDC, and others. President-elect Trump is warming up to the idea of establishing an America-first strategic reserve that would focus on digital assets. SOLANA, USDC, etc. This was reported by the New York Post on Thursday. Hey, that's today. Yes, that's breaking news. That's why you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out. Trump has shown interest in the concept throughout the meeting with the founders of these projects. The idea, however, has sparked worries among insiders that could weaken Bitcoin's market leadership. Okay, now, you've got the BTC maxis out there and you got the people that like the alts, right? The BTC maxis like Lumens and a lot of the other players out there aren't going to like stuff like this. But you'll get them on board because if it's US-based companies and if it's an America-first strategy, that's something that you're going to get a lot of support for, right? So I applaud this idea. Now, to make this possible, I honestly, I don't know the path. I don't know if this is comes through with Congress, with legislative stuff that gets voted through, if this is executive order stuff. That I don't know. This is all firsts for all of us. Could Trump do it on day one? I'm not honestly sure, what's allowed with this. I don't think anyone is because Like I said, we've never seen this before. Trump accepted the idea, reserve crypto coins founded in the U.S., wants to make the United States the crypto capital of the planet. Now, granted, BTC is still going to thrive. I'm not worried about BTC because, and let's be real, I know a lot of you out there don't like BTC, but you got to be honest with yourselves. If BTC were to crash to like 10,000, it would just take the entire market with it. The size of BTC compared to the rest of the alts is insane, okay? So I think BTC is still fine with this, even if the U.S. went U.S. first with their strategic reserve, because think there's a bunch of other players out there that believe in the BTC store of value play, so I'm not worried about that. In fact, I think it's a good balance. You've got tons of maxis out there that love BTC, right? I mean, all day long I could show you, but I can't show you too many like big maxis in regards to the alts. So this might be turning the table. This might be what I've been talking about, where I said, hey, look, there's going to be a point where BTC is expensive, and players are like, yo, there is not much juice left to squeeze. But these alts over here, they look really hot. And these alts, they're on the pill, so we can tax that ass without worry. Oh, you thought there wasn't going to be a dirty joke in here? Well, you were wrong. Well, no. You in the back, yeah, you were right. That's why I have the graphic warning thing in the beginning. It's not just for show. It's because sometimes we get a little naughty on here. So, okay. This is good. This is parity. This would bring parity amongst crypto, which would be very healthy because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, because you're right. If you create a strategic BTC reserve and BTC crashes, then what? Then your whole reserve is dead. Why not spread it around? And why not spread it around within United States-based crypto stuff? Now, I granted, for those of you that are outside the United States, you're like, well, yeah, it doesn't help us out. No, it does help you out, because if you get into those assets and the U.S. gets into those assets, you are making money because of the United States. That's an awesome. The United States usually screws a lot of us over, but now if the United States is going to give us a little bit of teat and we get to suck on it, this is fucking titties. Awesome. All right. XRP soars to record highs as market speculates on strategic reserve and ETF in the U.S. By the way, XRP ETF now, higher anticipation, higher probability of becoming an ETF product for it than SOL. Yeah, over this last week, we have seen a massive shift to more pro XRP ETF leaning money. Now, XRP ETF, it's not if, it's when. We've had the BTC ETFs, we had the ETH ETF. Players out there are like, yo, if this is going to make us money, we want to launch a product regarding it. And the reason I bring that up is because volume is absolutely crazy right now. And volume specifically for XRP is absolutely bonkers right now. So of course, players out there are going to want to launch products that are what? Hot, spicy, naughty, and relevant. So if there's an XRP ETF that gets approval, you know it's going to garner a lot of attention. And then what's going to happen? The other players out there in the traditional finance world are going to be like, whoa, they launched an XRP ETF. It's doing really well. It's making people a lot of money. Maybe we should launch a product. And then they launch a product, and then they do. And before you know it, it's just like the BTC ETFs, where you got a whole bunch of players out there in the traditional finance world getting into these products. And that's good, because it does what? It keeps the interest going. Now all of a sudden you start looking at this going, whoa, ETF, store of value, a little bit less risky play on this. You know, we're kind of dipping our toes in the risky water, but we're in an ETF, so we're kind of protected a little bit more so than anything. This is awesome. Brings more of that money on the sidelines that I've been talking about, because there's going to be some players out there that aren't going to buy native token, and we know that, right? Because think, when the BTC ETFs happened, we were like, you dumbasses know you could just like buy BTC, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we know, but we're not down with that. We want the ETF, and we're like, you know, there's a lot more fees with those ETFs and stuff like that, right? And they're like, no, we know that, but we really want the ETF. You're going to see that with XRP as well, where players just go, no, we don't want native token, but we want the ETF. Well, cool, because if they keep gobbling up the ETF, and the ETF has to fulfill its fiduciary requirements by owning X amount of XRP to balance it off, then again, that's good for us. Overall, the crypto market looks fairly healthy. Right now, sitting at 60 in terms of the fear and greed index, so fairly close to the middle here. Altcoin season is split down the middle right there at 50 out of 100. We're seeing a surge in market cap led by the alts, which is hot AF. Volume overall in the market is up 13% to 160 billion in the last 24 hours. XRP's volume up quite a bit more at 45% to $27 billion. So think about that. Total crypto market volume is 160. XRP is 27th at it. Let's look that up real quick and see what percentage XRP is. So let's just go 27, divide that by 160, and XRP represents 16.8% of the total action that's going on in the crypto market. So no wonder players out there are going to want to launch an XRP ETF soon. And how do you get an ETF approved? SEC has to approve it. Klaus, but wait a minute. The SEC is headed by Gary Gensler. Garmin, help us out. Garmin tells us that's only for 4 more days, and then guess what? We got pro crypto bros and gals at the helm. So, not a matter of if, but when. XRP price hot AF, 338 right now, up almost 17% in the last 24 hours. Zooming into the candlestick sees what? It sees a lot of green up on the screen. Now, what's cool with this move is, look, you're seeing some times where we touch some big numbers, 320, we go back and then we push on back up. We touch a big number here close to 340, push down, and then we push right back up to it. You've seen this several times. You saw it with 280 right here where we got a little stuttered, and then we pushed right back up. XRP is making healthy moves, and this is definitely the screw you SEC, screw you government overreach. Oh my gosh, are we going to have US-based support politically, governmentally, when it comes to alts that are built and run in the United States? This is freaking awesome. Granted, it benefits the United States a little bit more because, like that helps out like our tax base, like domestically. But it helps all of you out there because if the United States starts spending their money like drunken sailors, and let's be real here, the United States does. The United States is like a sailor on shore leave that's been out to sea for 3 months and they got a lot of cash because they've had like battle time pay and stuff like that. So they're coming into shore and they're like, yo, we got to spend our money. Dude, that's the US. And with XRP right now, what do you want me to say to the charts? We don't know what the true resistance is because every time we break it and bump down, we push right through it again. I zoom out here even more and you're like, dude, that's totally true. So what are my alerts are right now? I don't have alerts right now. What are my lows that I'm looking for? I'm just watching the charts all day long so I can watch the move on this. Because think, a couple days ago, I had a lot of people panicking. Oh man, we hit 320 and then we got pushed on down and I got a couple messages with this candlestick barrage right here. Cool. 24 hours later, we blew right past it. So now what? Right? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's so much optimism looking forward in the market. I'm zooming out. I'm saying I love the run. I'm not going to like micro look at this. I'm not going to talk about Bollinger Bands or muffin tops or apple bottom jeans or juicy booties. I'm just zooming out and I'm like, yo, this move did not stop at $2. $2.50 did not hold it. $3 didn't hold it. Oh my gosh, what is coming next? And you know what's so cool about this move that's happening right now? It's that a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, right? Like US-based stuff as a strategic reserve, XRP ETFs, new regs, all this, none of that's happened yet. So like all that money that's on the sideline waiting for the new rules and regs to kick in, waiting for things to be legal, right? Because think, today the SEC is like, look, it's all security, screw off. You're like, that money is just waiting for this stuff to come live. And the market is reacting without even knowing what's going to come live because we don't know. Are we going to go BTC strategic reserve? Are we going to go alt? But it's good news all around. And the fact that we got even more good news coming down the pipe is, I don't know how else to explain it. It's super exciting, and it's like, seriously, being like a kid on Christmas every freaking morning, right? I wake up, I'm like, all right, let's check what the price is. Oh, juicy booty. And then I'm like, what's the news driving the price? Whoa, juicy booty. And it's like, every day I'm doing this. And it's been like this since the beginning of November. Now, granted, we have had some times where we've had some red candlesticks, all right? So when those red candlesticks come, are you going to freak out, or are you going to be like, no, because we saw what happened the last couple times. Those red candlesticks allowed people in the market to kind of regroup, establish some sort of sense of normalcy, right? Even though it was short term, and then rocket up from there. So excited, Santa Claus, kid on Christmas morning. That's how I feel every day when I check my phone. How many of you do that? Seriously, be honest with me down below. How many of you, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is you check crypto prices and crypto news? Maybe it's just me because it's my job and like I'm a big fan and because I'm super dedicated to bring you the news at all hours of the day. But I also find this stuff fascinating. This is a financial revolution that we're witnessing live. Like, we're not reading about it in textbooks. And I want you to think of all that stuff. I obviously wasn't around when the gold standard was changed, right? I wasn't around to learn about a lot of those financial events that happened in history. I had to read through them, through textbooks and through lectures and all that stuff. Well, now I get to experience this live, like aware, enthralled, and engulfed, and I love it. And it's blowing my mind because every day something's happening where I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's an awesome idea. Just like earlier, with the US-based assets. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if that's executive order. I don't know if it's an act of Congress, right? Doing some legislation stuff because we haven't gone through this. And it's just exciting, but it can be overwhelming, right? So if you're sitting there and you are feeling a little overwhelmed by it, don't freak out because guess what? A lot of us get overwhelmed even with good news. Yes, good stimulus can sometimes overwhelm us, right? Imagine if all of a sudden your wife is like, yo, I'm pregnant. You're like, dude, this is freaking awesome. Great news. But it still can be overwhelming, right? Even though it's positive. So let's keep our eyes and ears open. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out. Channel members, there's a new video out. Check it. I have it linked here at the end. Let me know down below more ideas regarding merch. And of course, choo-choo bitches.